This Game Player Strategy tape is full of hints, tips, and playing strategies. To get the most from this tape, we suggest you first read the manual that comes with the cartridge and also have some experience playing the game. Good luck from the editors and game players at Game Players Magazines. Welcome to Ninja Gaiden Game Player. Your weapons and your skill with them are keys to this game. You have your sword. To collect strength and weapons, you must get these. Some are of little use. Others you must have to beat a particular enemy. This tape will help you learn these skills. Your sword is an important weapon, but your ability to jump and leap is too. Practice on this level. Here's one of your best weapons, the fire wheel. Remember, it uses up spiritual strength. And here's an invincible fire wheel. It's the best weapon for speed. Watch. Unfortunately, it only lasts a few seconds. This time freeze stops the enemies for 5 seconds. You really don't need this one. Another very useful weapon, the windmill throwing star. Here's how it works. These guys are bad if they ever punch you. They get very aggressive. You need to get them fast. In Jay's bar, you must defeat the barbarian. Run up and stab him, then jump on the wall. Watch. Our ninja has reached the outpost. Your jumping is very important here. Practice using the different weapons. This area isn't too bad. Your progress needs to become smooth and fast. Here's a series of well-timed jumps. Here's a jump and slash. Unlike other weapons, you use this every time you jump, and you use up energy fast. Be careful. Now for Death Valley. There are several rough spots here. Hint, if you stand on the left edge, you can kill this Reaper with your sword before you jump across. Timing becomes more critical now. This is one of the hardest parts of this area. You must get the invincible fire wheel, then hurry.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
You gotta let us know if there's any echo, because I can kind of hear myself through Try's headphones.
My headphones have rather...
They're not noise canceling, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can always try the other microphone and see if that makes a difference. You want to try?
Yeah, I may as well see if it, because I was coming out of it. You're using your your other microphone or other speakers?
Other microphone. Okay, let's just out of curiosity, how does this sound?
It doesn't sound very good. I mean, it sounds okay. Yeah.
Right, well, then let's do this. Let's stick with this. I mean, normally Discord, does a pretty good job of canceling hearing yourself coming back.
Yeah, I maybe it's just because of the headphones. It's too weird of a sound, I guess, that it's sending. Anyways, let us know if it bothers you. I guess once we gotta get.
I mean,
it seems like it's okay now. I don't really hear it now.
Okay. Well, I just turned the volume down a little bit, so we'll see.
Okay. So how's it going? I was just commenting about how bearded you look.
I probably haven't shaved since maybe a day or two before I shot my on-camera bit for the Super NT episode, which was probably like 2 weeks ago by now.
Yeah.
I don't remember shaving since then, so I probably haven't. So yeah, I mean, this isn't a beard; it's just laziness, right?
Yeah. Well, you've been busy. You've been busy enough to not have to not think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the episode is pretty close to finished. I mean, I don't think there's really any risk of it not releasing Wednesday morning, but you know, I also kind of can't let up. You know, I guess there's some point been a hope of, it'll basically be done.
You're kind of hoping for like this weekend.
Yeah, basically be done. I knew that there would be a few shots I'd have to do on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
that's it. And hopefully, you know, you get that. You're expecting a package.
Right. It has nothing to do with the Super NT itself, but it's something. It does include material that will be good for B-roll in this episode. So I was kind of waiting.
I guess you could. You want to kind of tell people what it is. I mean.
I mean, we've been talking to a guy who had some extra Commodore 64 stuff lying around, including a Commodore monitor.
Yeah.
And so that is coming, and it should be here Tuesday. And I wanted to just I mean, this is just good stuff for us to have in general, and we can use it again in the future. But for the immediate use, I wanted to shoot some shots of not just it's also like programming manuals and some magazines and that kind of stuff, which is good B-roll for sort of Kevtris's background.
Right. Yeah, for those that don't know, kind of half the episode is kind of a mini doc on Kevtris himself, and kind of like the road to like making the Super NT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's like half on Kevtris himself, but it's like there's like
my part is on that.
Yeah, well, a couple of minutes to set up like his background and FPGAs and his interest in that, and then it gets into you know, how he got involved with getting involved with the NT Mini, and then the making of the Super NT. So it's kind of a part like review, and here's our advice on, you know, the best settings, and you know, that's what you would expect from an RGB episode, but it's also part like the making of.
Yeah.
So it's you know, and what's funny is like this came from a random thing that you said on stream, like I want to say maybe in late November, maybe. You were just like, you know, you were talking about you know, how John Linneman was going to be in town. You're like, you know, we should just like go drive and interview Kevtris. I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, that is a good idea. Let's see if he'll do it.
Yeah, and it happened, and I think that our Super NT video is going to have that, and that's kind of something that nobody else will have.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, I'm excited about it. It's coming together well. I'm trying something new with recording comparison shots.
Oh, right.
I'm using a new capture card. This is like there is some archive shots, like there's some like NT Mini stuff that is from my archives of making the NT Mini episode. But I'm using the Magewell capture card for everything else, and I'm using OBS to capture that. Which actually it's interesting because it lets me scale up the capture source in the frame, and because it's not compressed at that point, I can scale it up in OBS. And then, so I can basically kind of pre-scale it before it's ever recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, you know, the compression isn't reducing the integrity of the individual pixels as much. So I think the comparisons are looking noticeably cleaner using that technique.
It kind of makes you have to plan out your comparisons a little bit more ahead of time too.
Yeah, in a way, but I'm kind of just making them as I go, which is kind of what I normally do anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know you and John have sort of said you like make your comparisons before you even really get into anything else, which I understand because that's helpful in the sense that you do your comparison, you're like, oh, okay, this informs what I'm going to write about, right?
Right.
But like how I have a tendency to do it is I like do my testing with things that aren't actually that interesting to look at. Like in the PS2 episode, a lot of my testing I was doing with like the color bars on the Resident Evil 4 options screen. You know, that's not very interesting, but I was using, you know, stuff like that. Like, okay, this tells me a lot about what's going on between these two things here, but it's just not something I want to show.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of what ends up happening. But yeah, so like everything I've got left to do on the Super NT video is, I mean, it's all direct capture stuff unless I change my mind about any of it. I don't have any more like camera shots left to shoot. So I mean, it's, you know, it's coming along. You know, it's going to be totally different from how the NT Mini video was. You know, where it was like I want to say like a month late.
Yeah, and you know, we were the only ones that had something kind of on the jailbreak ahead of time, but I mean, not ahead of time, but I mean, a more in-depth look at it.
Right, because I was able to start writing the episode like one. It's like, oh, okay, well this, and really that kind of changed everything, I think, about the NT Mini. But the Super NT, by comparison, I think can kind of stand on its own, independent of whether that even happens or not.
Right.
You know, because it gives you the HDMI option that you never have had before with a Super Nintendo hardware solution.
Yeah. And then we'll be talking about it throughout the night. But for the time being, I'm going to get started on Ghouls and Ghosts on the SuperGrafx. First time streaming a SuperGrafx game.
Yeah, so does the controller port use the same connector as the PC engine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. This is kind of, I mean, there's only a handful of SuperGrafx exclusive games. I don't know if this is considered the best, but it might be, you know, like the top two. It's like this, and there's another one called Aldines. It's like a shooter, and it's really expensive.
Well, I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, the graphics. Is it based on any previous version of the game, or is it kind of an original thing?
No, it's very similar to the Genesis version and the arcade version, and there's certain aspects that are close to the. What's going on with the? Oh, there it is. I mean, there's more there's certain graphical elements that are closer to the arcade. The sound effects are definitely not nearly as good as the Genesis version. And I just saw that there's only 3 continues, so it's probably significantly harder. So I will probably not beat it tonight.
How many continues are in the
Genesis version? It has unlimited continues.
Oh, okay.
And
see, I'm so used to the Super Nintendo game that, you know, is obviously very cruel.
The music seems to be like cutting out. I don't know if it's an issue with the OSSC. It seems to be having problems with
it. The OSSC is dropping it a lot.
I might have to tweak the settings.
Or use the FrameMeister.
Yeah, I can do either one. It doesn't really matter. If I have to switch over, then I do. I mean, I've streamed the Genesis version to completion.
Yeah.
Like early last year, I think.
Yeah. But you had beaten it before. I mean, you're pretty good at that game anyway.
Yeah, I'm very. It's maybe like it's definitely in my top 3 favorite Genesis games. And I've beaten it like countless times over the years.
So, are you using the graphics booster?
I am, yes.
Is this RGB or component?
This is RGB actually.
Oh, that's actually a pretty neat effect on those trees.
Oh, like the wind blowing?
Yeah, that's pretty unique.
So like right here in the background, you can kind of see the. Oh, it keeps on dropping. Should I switch over to FrameMeister? Maybe I will.
Yeah, switch over to FrameMeister. Are you playing on your PVM?
Yeah. Okay, hang on one second.
Corey got his PVM originally from a friend of his who works at a Cincinnati TV station. They were throwing him out, and he saved them. I've played Ghouls and Ghosts, but the only game I've played significantly is the Super Nintendo game. Others I've only kind of just, messed around in.
I just realized that I can't use the FrameMeister with the SuperGrafx.
Why not?
Because of the location of it, I'm using a different...
Oh.
Because it's off to the side, and that kind of feeds the Extron through a separate SCART switcher. So give me 1 second to let me just... I think I just need to mess with the settings on the OSSC, because I fixed it before.
There's a question asking, is the Super NT cartridge wobbly in the Super NT? I don't think so. Let me check. I've not had any problems with the cartridge slot. I mean, I just checked. I would say that the level of wobbliness is equivalent to a real Super Nintendo. I just checked.
Let's see if this helps, because just let me know if it's still dropping. I had to kind of...
Do you think component would help? Could you do component out of the graphics booster?
I could. It might, but I was having a very similar problem with it. But I think that I was able to mess with the settings before and get it so it was pretty locked. I think I switched it around recently. Let's see if this helps at all. I was not anticipating this. It seemed like it was working fine. But I can hear when it drops, so...
Oh, because your audio is coming from that?
Right.
Oh, are you listening to it as a monitor source and OBS? Is that how you're hearing your game?
No. I mean, it's going to my mixer.
We don't watch the Super Bowl? No.
I mean, I Corey, do. I have it on in the background like even right now. Oh, there it goes again, man.
No, football has never managed to capture my attention. My only real Super Bowl memory is me and another friend went to another friend's house, and we played N64 and Super Nintendo on a black and white TV in his bedroom upstairs, and we went downstairs every once in a while and got good things to eat. It was actually a pretty good time.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have it on, just like in the background. It's always fun. Oh, not the axe. Not the axe. You really
Are
want...
the controller ports the same space apart?
They seem like they're further apart.
Yeah. I would say they're closer together than on the original system. I'm not sure about the Junior. My Junior is upstairs. I forget if the Junior has the same spacing as the original systems or not.
Ah, that's how they get you right there. Oh, one jump. Oh, the checkpoints I think are going to be a little bit different too. In this.
So is the level layout basically the same?
Got a donation from our good friend Reese Riverson.
Oh, thank you.
Be sure to check what he said when it pops up on the stream.
Remember, Try, bees are not fairies. Don't let them troll you like last time. On the Backloggery stream, on Monday we did Link to the Past randomizer, which I'd never really done before. And I got a bottle, and when you get bottles in the randomizer, they come like with something already in it. And the first bottle I got, I thought was a fairy. It was a bee. it was a little dot with wings, you know. It'd been a while since I'd played A Link to the Past. I forgot what a fairy in a bottle looked like in that game. You know, the new Zelda fairy in a bottle, you know, is often represented by a dot with wings. Oh, we just got a new sponsor, Aaron Cincinnatus.
He's been a viewer for a long time. I always get a kick out of his last name because it's very close to the name of where I live.
Is that actually your last name? I had always assumed that name had something to do with you living in Cincinnati or something. Of course, I have no idea what kind of name. I don't even know what Cincinnati is based on. the name of the place. Maybe Cincinnati is someone's name. Maybe.
Man, and you use the credit when you. Whew, this is pretty rough. This is not gonna happen tonight. I was thinking I'd be able to just, you know, power my way through.
Well, you're doing better than I probably would.
I don't know.
It's been so long since I played the Super Nintendo game that, you know, I always regret that I never have footage like past the first level when I record it.
I'm half tempted to change gears to maybe Legend of the Valkyrie.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see what
you have another SuperGrafx game, right?
Yeah, it's like something Ace, like Battle Ace or something like that. It's like the most common game on the system. I'm zombieing here now.
Zombie, you've only been playing a few minutes.
I know, but I'm like messing up. I'm discouraged by the limited continues.
Huh? He says it is his last name. The name is originally Polish, based on the same Roman general that Cincinnati is named for.
Oh.
Who knew that Cincinnati was named for a Roman general?
Yeah.
I didn't. That's really random, I feel.
Well, I'll give it till one game over, or to a game over, and see what happens. Because now I have the sword, which is also not good news. Yeah, that question about the cartridges and the Super NT has been asked quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Like just like on Twitter and stuff. What's that?
Were people asking us specifically, or is it just
on Twitter? I think.
But like people asking us on Twitter, or just you've been seeing that question come up in general?
I've seen it just come up like on our Twitter.
Oh. Well, I haven't been paying terribly much attention to the conversation on Twitter. Because I've been busy working on the episode. But the one weird thing is like that I've noticed that the hot conversation about the Super NT seems to be is like people are mad about how the clear system looks.
Yeah.
And I think it looks fine.
Oh, we got another donation from Adam Jenkins saying that My Life in Gaming wins over sports ball any day.
Thank you. I mean, I would agree with that too. I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I mean, that doesn't take a lot to win over sports ball for me. I'm afraid.
I like it, but I just like barely watch it anymore.
That is a interesting background.
Yeah, I like it. See, I feel like this looks quite a bit more graphically impressive than the Genesis version.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I don't know much about what kind of power this system has over the Genesis or even over the regular PC Engine. I really don't know.
I don't recall like exactly what makes it more. I heard it was capable of doing like sprite scaling and rotation.
Okay.
But I mean, like something like this, you wouldn't be able to tell, you know?
Yeah. I mean, those trees blowing could have been part of that.
I'm falling apart here. Would the chat be okay if I switched over to Legend of Valkyrie? I mean, we may as well, if they're into it, because I'm out of continues already.
Ah.
It costs you one to start the game.
Not in the mood to start over tonight, huh?
No. All right, I'm going to switch to Legend of Valkyrie.
Question about the upcoming 4K episode. Do you know much about HDMI 2.0 and future revisions of OSSC and FrameMeister's successor? I feel like the OSSC is probably going to be in a pretty finished hardware state for the time being. I mean, the 1.6 is, as far as I know, still readily available. And I mean, doesn't really have anything missing from it. So I mean, it's probably going to be firmware from here. And FrameMeister's successor, we don't know anything. HDMI 2.1, I mean, it's not really going to play into the 4K TV episode, I think, because it doesn't really matter for most things right now. I mean, yeah, the FreeSync thing is cool, but it really, like in the console realm, it's only relevant for Xbox One X, and but even then, I mean, I don't have anything to even use that with right now. But I at one point I thought about, holding out and waiting to see if maybe there would be a FreeSync monitor that I would, or a FreeSync TV I would want. But, at the time I was like, I don't know if there will be any available soon enough, and maybe it won't be OLED, which is what I wanted. And, so I thought I'm not going to hold off, because the only thing is FreeSync is really only going to be that useful in poorly optimized games anyway. So I like to hope that games will at least be decently optimized. I always thought that the greens in this game looked really saturated.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, actually. Let's see if this drops at all. I can switch to the FrameMeister with this one if I need to. If I need to switch it over.
Oh, are you just on your regular...
Well, I can switch to my PC engine if it's a problem.
Oh, okay.
This is on the regular PC engine, but I'm playing on a SuperGrafx. It's also based on an arcade game. Great music here. The first level music is so good.
The arcade version, I believe, has co-op with that green creature that you see sometimes in this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the PC Engine version, I believe, was the only home version for a long time until the PlayStation, and I think the PlayStation version is based on the arcade version. Is that right?
Yes. The PlayStation version, I mean, it's just on the Namco Museum. It's gonna keep on dropping sync here. See, this is like this. At least this has passwords.
No, only the SuperGrafx supports SuperGrafx games, right?
Right.
Do you think it could be an issue with your cable, maybe? Or no, that was the Super System that you said the cable was kind of a loose fit.
Right. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with here.
Or not a secure fit.
It's gonna be annoying, isn't it? I mean, I could switch over to FrameMeister no matter what, like with this. Do I want to do it before I get far into it? Because I mean,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
screwing around. Sorry.
Let's do it.
All right.
Will there be a Super NT live stream? The Super NT live stream will happen the next Sunday. And hopefully we'll have Kevtris like we did last time. If nothing comes up. No, the Super NT does not let you dump games. And even if it gets jailbreak firmware, I still don't think it would let you dump games, because the only reason that the NES dumper exists in the jailbreak NT Mini firmware is because Kevtris had made hardware to do that years ago, and he had made an FPGA version of his own hardware. So this would be making something completely new, and I kind of doubt that he would do that. Yes, you can access stream archives if you just go to our main YouTube page, just youtube.com/mylifeingaming. If you scroll down, you'll see a live playlist, a public playlist of previous streams. We leave the streams unlisted, but the playlist is public.
All right, 1 second.
Any Retrode cons in 2018? Well, we're definitely going to too many games. We don't, not necessarily as guests. It doesn't really matter either way. We're going to too many games for sure. Outside of that, not sure.
All right. We should be good.
All
After
right.
all that. Wait for the audio to go away. It should disappear in a little bit. All right. Let's do this again. What did I miss?
Nothing really.
I heard you say something about retro cons. Like if we have.
Yeah, I said that too many games is the only thing for sure so far.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, I don't know if we'll be like invited as guests to that or not.
I'd love to go to Missouri again.
Yeah, but they just announced the dates for that. It's just it's one day this year. They said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know if we're big enough to go for just like a one-day thing.
That's too bad. It's only one day. I wonder what caused that.
I don't know.
Maybe just a scheduling conflict.
I don't know. The game might be a little loud now. Well, I was not expecting to play this tonight, but you know, I wonder how hard it is. I mean, I feel like it's probably like 5 levels or something like that.
There was a question of is 5x 6x still the best size sizing for the Super NT, and I think I'll save the answer to that for the video. How is the sound? There was actually Kevtris fixed some sound glitches that I noticed early on in my testing, and so I think the sound is pretty spot on from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what other people's reviews are gonna be like.
Yeah, I mean it's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see what other people's stuff is like. I mean, I think that everyone's gonna be happy with it. That's my early assumption.
Has the glitch I found, the last glitch that I found, been fixed? I know that he just got the game, so I imagine it will be fixed soon.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was fixed like before the video.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So you can show like a before and after.
I really want to, yeah. I'm really hoping that it might be fixed like in a day or two, because there's this part of the video where I kind of want to show before and after, like just to be like, you know, here is like what some of the, the debugging has been going quick. But I mean, there's like only one glitch in a, moderately obscure game, Japanese game that I'm aware of at this point. That's it. Like everything else is flawless that I've found.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! I wonder if you can get like a running start.
The nice thing about this game is it has passwords, so
yeah,
if you can continue. However, if I'm not mistaken, the password system in this remembers.
No, it doesn't. Does it really?
How many continues you have? I think it might. But I don't know for sure. I feel like that's something that someone told me maybe at one point. But I haven't played far enough into the game to really be sure.
I guess we're gonna find out because I just died. Oh, do you have to do the whole level over again? Let's see what happens. Oh no, you don't. Oh, and you keep your weapon too.
Wow, that was an interesting, got shocked animation.
Well, the enemy is kind of an easy boss, but...
Oh, you didn't have to do the... Yeah, it's kind of like that one Zelda 3 boss.
Yeah. So you do get, like, there's experience. I have no idea what's going on in the story. So...
That flying thing that I love how there's like these like 2x pixel artwork
it's like
in this
scaled up.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. You don't really see that a lot in games of the era. That little flying thing with wings that flew out of the boss made me think of what was his name? I think Puffy was the name from Grandia.
Oh yeah.
Kind of made me think of that.
This level looked like it had multiple directions I could go. Oh, jeez. Will you look this up on how long to beat? See how...
Sure.
I don't know if this game would even be on there. I mean, I would think it would be, but...
You know, I'm looking at the stream layout. It was a bigger pain than it should have been to keep the text editable on the Photoshop file, but also be able to apply that brushed metal texture.
Is somebody asking about our names on the TVM? Or are you just talking about it?
No. It's just I was just looking at it and thinking about it. And I thought like that brushed metal effect wasn't going to convey on the stream at all, but I noticed that it does, so I'm glad I took the effort. There was probably a better way to do it that would have had the effect while still I was still able to edit the name on the thing, but I had to like render it and then apply, or I had to, it couldn't be a smart object or what, it had to be rasterized. And then I had to apply the effect. And then I had to like save it and then go back, undo back to where it was editable. Okay, Legend of the Valkyrie.
Or Valkyrie no Densetsu.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to. No Densetsu.
Speaking of Densetsu, I was just kind of surprised that I forgot the Secret of Mana was coming out. The Secret of Mana remake is coming out like in a week and a half or something like that, or a week from Tuesday maybe. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've got pre-ordered.
Same here. No idea what to expect with it.
This game is not on how long to beat.
If we had Jimmy Hoppa here, he'd be able to tell us. He's a big fan of this.
So when you go to the huts that have characters in them and shops and stuff, is it pretty self-explanatory without reading the text, like what you can do? I mean, they're probably dropping some hints and stuff.
Yeah, probably. Is there like an FAQ on this?
I want to say there is. I think I've looked at it before.
Did I take the just got on the right one here? Oh, come on. Let's see if we can do this again.
Oh, no, there's not, but there is a passwords.
How many levels does it say it is?
It's got,
man.
At least it's got passwords at least up through stage 7.
Okay.
So unless those are just like good passwords that have all your continues or whatever, then maybe it is infinite continues. I don't know. Yeah, I really do. I also wish the Secret of Mana remake was on the Switch. If it was, I would have bought for that instead.
Oh, is it?
No, if it was though, I would have bought it on Switch instead of PS4 if it was.
Okay, so it says game over. Let's see if there's continues.
Like, I don't even know where you get your password.
I guess we'll find out, right? I'm assuming that that's continue. Okay, so it starts you at the beginning of the level, and you start with the same. Looks like the same power-ups, and same money, almost too.
You know, the password system uses Japanese characters, so it might be really tough to use.
Oh, jeez. Well, I think no matter what, it's going to be more fun than me watching me play the first 3 levels of Ghouls and Ghosts all night. But we'll see what happens. I'll beat it on my own time if I don't beat it tonight. I'm going to be the one that breaks the streak of not beating a game during the stream.
Oh, have we beaten a game on stream? Like, what is our streak at?
It's at 3. I mean, Castlevania. Castlevania, Mario 2, and McDonald's.
Oh yeah. What was before Mario 2?
That's when John was here.
Okay.
Sonic Adventure. I played the arcade version on the Namco collection.
Is that a sort of spread shot that you've got? Is it
I don't think it lasts forever because I had it before and then it disappeared after a little bit.
Like, do you think it's like when you get hit or?
Maybe.
Well, no, you just fell in a pit and you didn't lose it.
Oh, there's a hut right here. Let's see what this does. I bet you can get more life too. Okay, so you can leave without buying anything. That's cool. Oh, you gotta make the jump, huh?
I don't understand that menu system. That's like the flickering A, B, and C. Like, how do you choose?
Left is A, right is C, and up is B.
Oh, okay.
I just learned that from the first time I saw it there.
You know, a lot of the environment work and the enemy sprites have a very different sort of look to them, like almost sort of a painted look. Like, they don't really look like other than the Valkyrie herself, like a lot of the game doesn't really look like normal traditional sprite work.
I think it kind of does. You know what I think it looks like a little bit? I think it looks like a Wonder Boy game, kind of.
I don't know. I mean, parts of it. I don't know. I feel like the monsters, though, like she's got like this outline around her, sort of, and the monsters don't have that.
I don't know how I got hit there, but it was like. So you only gotta. Okay, this is it's not that hard, really. You just gotta make it through a level without dying, and that's fine though. It's not that bad. I don't know all these different things.
There doesn't seem to be any indication of losing continues.
No.
So, and you keep your upgrades from the previous level?
Yes, that's how it appears to be. Yes. So I guess we'll see. Probably be able to get a better feel for it once I beat this level.
It's a lot like Pocky and Rocky.
Yeah, I can see that. I can farm some money here.
Which, I mean, I believe also started as a arcade game.
Yeah.
Kiki Kai Kai.
Alright, so there I got the spread shot again. See, I think I just messed up before. Once you kind of get a feel for the level, I think you can take your time and get through it. And you know, that's something I still struggle with these days. I think that a lot of people are so used to rushing through games and never actually like take their time. And that's why it's harder than it first seems.
Right.
You just really got to do a little bit at a time. See, I don't know if the I thought the orbs would do something, but it doesn't seem like they do. I mean,
well, they gotta do something.
They fill up the orb thing on the right of your health, but that's it.
I bet if you'd watch Jimmy Hoppa's video, it'd tell you.
Probably. But his video is on the arcade version. It's not on this one. Although he's going to do one on this. See, I think I can get lots of good money, though, by destroying these boulders. It's giving me big money.
Big money. They are bigger monies.
So how much of the edit do you think you have left, really?
Let me look. Let me look.
Oops.
I mean, you know, aside from just like scattered like tiny gaps,
Ooh,
I mean, there's about...
Look at my weapon now.
Oh, it's like a spinning fire thing?
Yeah, it's heat-seeking, it looks like. Oh, it's homing.
And was that something you picked up, or did it just...
I don't know. It just happened.
Do you think like picking up like 4 orbs like works up to the next weapon or something?
I don't know.
I mean, there's like a 15-second gap there. Like another 15-second gap there. Actually, no. 25. I think none of these gaps are that big. Here's the
Interesting.
gap.
So I think you cycle through your weapons.
It's like a little more than a minute there. It's not much. It's really not much. I mean, let's see. How long is that? 1726 to...
So here's what I think happens. This is like a really weird gameplay technique. But I think that if you attack a bunch, you'll eventually, like, you cycle through weapons over a certain amount of attacks. I know it sounds like really weird.
Wait, say it again.
The more you attack, just like the more you attack, it cycles through to the next power level.
So it's like a hidden combo, you think?
Not a combo, because I was attacking and then I reverted back randomly to the lowest power level. So I think it slowly cycles through them. In a way, it's kind of teaching you to like not just shoot all the time. Does that make sense?
Not really. I wonder if we can look it up. Let me see. Actually, yeah, I think there's a Hardcore Gaming 101. Wait, here's a strategy wiki.
I mean, I honestly think, you know, the more I attack, the stronger your weapon gets. But eventually, if you attack too much, it goes back to like the lowest power level.
Not sure.
Because
Which version?
The fact that it went back to like the lowest power level during that fight makes me feel that way.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I think this is the arcade version I might be reading about here, but like some weapons say they have like 160 uses or 64 uses.
Right.
Yours only has 128 uses. But I think this is the PC version I'm reading about.
Well, you mean the arcade version?
Yeah, I think I'm reading about the arcade version.
Okay, but I bet you this is similar then.
Yeah, it could be. But, you know, looking at this edit, I mean, it's probably like, I don't know, like a scattered 4 minutes, maybe, to lock down, that's not locked down.
That's not bad. And it's 25 minutes, or is it shorter than 25 minutes now? Or longer?
Right now, it's at 24:34. I'm thinking about maybe adding a line in one section, but I'm not sure if I will. I think yesterday I voiced some stuff and I revoiced some things, and I added a line like saying like you shouldn't expect any HDMI magic with like, you know, adapter cartridges like Super Retro Advance or those things that let you play Genesis games on your Super Nintendo, because like they are the clone console in and of themselves, and they have their own video output, and you know, all they do is borrow power and controller inputs. That's the main reason, you know, controller inputs from the Super Nintendo. You know, it prevents the system from having to have those components. And I add a line saying like, because I've seen people ask about it, like, whoa, could it do something with the Super Retro Advances? And I don't even have a Super Retro Advance to test with it, but it doesn't matter because the Super Retro Advance doesn't pass anything through the Super Nintendo. It has its own video output. So there's no point in it. And I like edited that segment using footage from the Game Boy episode. I was just like, this is stupid. Why? Then I took it out because I mean it's stupid.
I mean,
so people will ask, but
yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's stupid, and it broke the flow. That was the thing. It broke the flow. And I kept thinking like, oh, people are. As I'm always like thinking of what like questions that people are going to have. And I'm like, I'm going to address this in the video so people don't ask questions.
Right.
Oh, not that I buy questions. I love questions. I actually enjoy answering questions, but when there are questions that I think are going to be common, and hopefully that's not that common of a question, but I mean, I get it. Like, if you don't actually have one of those things, then you wouldn't know how it worked, and you would see like, oh, like, unless we play Game Boy Advance on my Super Nintendo, that's pretty cool, you know. But no, that's not how those things work.
That guy gave me another of the glowing balls. I don't know what it does. I made it to the next level. I wonder if this is not actually, if each level has 2 areas, because this is the first time it has different music. So the last 2 levels have the same music.
You know, from the... I haven't played a ton of PC Engine through the FrameMeister, but I haven't had any issues with it. Through the OSSC, but I haven't really had a lot of issues with it.
Maybe it's the SuperGrafx.
Maybe, or maybe it's something about the behavior of the graphics booster.
Maybe.
I mean, the graphics booster seems pretty amazing, though. Like, the quality of it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good. But I was having similar problems with the using components with the other thing, the Super SD System 3.
Oh. See, I feel like I would expect component to be less likely to have issues. You can really see the FrameMeister noise in the green color of this cave floor.
Oh. Ah. You fall in the lava and she swims in the lava.
I don't think there's going to be any FrameMeister in the Super NT episode.
Uh-oh. You might want to throw one in there. Just to be safe.
I mean, I don't know. Could it be like the first RGB episode without a FrameMeister shot?
You might want to...
I mean, I'm not talking like a physical shot. Like, I'm talking even a gameplay recording.
But I mean, we don't want to...
But Kevtris says FrameMeister in the interview.
Okay, well...
He says the word FrameMeister. So...
speaking of Kevtris, I think that he's going to be joining us for our live stream once again next week.
Yeah, I mentioned that while you were...
oh, really? Okay.
Or changing games, yeah, or you were doing something. Yeah, hopefully so, unless something comes up for him. But he said no problem. So here's hoping.
People seemed to enjoy it last time he was on.
Corey actually has the AVS.
Right. People were asking, oh, is there going to be any comparisons? But the AVS is here.
Right. I mean, well, and second of all, I mean, there wouldn't be any comparison with the AVS because you can only play NES games on it.
Mm-hmm.
Although, actually, you know, for fun, I put in a comparison shot earlier today of Mario 3 on the NT Mini versus Mario 3 on the Super NT.
Yeah,
why
for
not?
Fun now.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you get an idea of like, you know, how the sharpness looks and stuff like that, right?
Right. So people will know what to expect. I wonder if people's units are going to ship the 7th, or if they've already shipped to arrive on the 7th.
I feel like they start shipping out on the 7th.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. See, now I'm taking a little bit slower and I'm doing a lot better on this level. Yeah, I'm excited because I mean, I only saw it like when you were here. So I'm excited to see it.
Saw what?
We only played it like a little bit while you were here.
Yeah. I mean, you know, spoilers is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think people will be pretty happy. They're not gonna go and cancel their.
Yeah. Except the people who got a clear console, apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, a lot of people said, you know, the frosted look is not the same in the picture. But if you look at the analog, the Super NT logo is on the board itself, and it's blurry in the picture. So it's like, there's definitely a frost in the
right. Like
promo.
I think the render itself is almost a paradox, because I don't know if you could like. I think what people liked was that like the board looked dark through the plastic in the render.
Right.
But can you even have like dark?
Well.
Like,
not only
can you
that,
like
but
show it through that clearly and have it be like blurry and frosted at the same time? I don't think you could.
Right, and there's no chips or anything on the render, on the board and the render.
Well, yeah, I mean you can't see them clearly. I mean you can't see them clearly in the real thing either. But I think it looks cool. Like I've done like there's you can sort of like change like the LED behavior. And like one of the things, you could do this on the NT Mini as well, although it's a very different sort of LED. The NT Mini is just like a teeny tiny dot, and the Super NT is like it's actually, I think it's like the same size and shape as the Super Famicom LED. But you can change like the color and the behavior, and there's a setting called K Pro Rainbow. which I guess is Kevtris is doing, and it like cycles through a bunch of colors, and I did some cool things with like with like low lighting, and like mostly just let the light come from the LED and sort of pass through the system, and I mean it looks cool. Holy cow!
What does it say? Read it.
Are those US dollars?
I just died because I saw that.
Gentlemen, thank you for the RGB Masterclass series. I have accumulated every console RGB with all 3 significant PVM monitors, including the Sony 32, and it's a game changer. Wife may not agree. Wow.
Holy
$100 donation from Virtual Basement Limited Liability Corporation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whoa. Whoa. Thank you.
Holy mackerel.
Holy cow. Thank you.
His name's going to be up there for like the rest of the stream probably.
I don't know what the cooldown, like how the cooldown scales on that.
Okay, so now suddenly the game is like a lot harder. I'm gonna do my best.
Oh, I only just saw it appear on the stream now.
Yeah, I mean there's a little bit of a obviously there's like a delay.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know what this old lady does. You pick A, B, or C. I don't know what they do. I tried A and B, and nothing's happened anytime.
So is this level 2 or 4, or 3 or 4?
It's either. I'm guessing that it's probably 3. And there's nothing on it, right? So there's no way to even tell. I mean, it gave me a password.
Oh, it did?
In between, yeah.
I don't remember seeing one between 1 and 2.
Oh, there's another secret passage. Oh, you can find shortcuts though, I think. Interesting. So
how do you open it? Just
you
shooting it?
shoot the wall. Yeah, I just found this. Like now I could like avoid this whole like platforming section.
That character has like looks like he's dressed like knights.
I'm gonna try the. I don't know what any of the items do. I'm gonna try getting the bombs this time. See what that does. I'm gonna go right this time. Whoa. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of tell if there's a passage because the wall looks off. Like it looks like it moves at a slightly different speed.
Yeah, it moves like at a different pace, like when the screen is scrolling.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't it's not like solidly stuck to it.
Right. Gotta get that run and jump. See, I can tell there's a secret passage right here. It looks like Doc Brown kinda in here.
Waiting to see.
You see it or not really?
Yeah, I see it now. Doc Brown with a staff.
Yeah. Well, that just made it like a bit more bearable, like having the shortcuts.
Are those people like that Doc Brown guy? Did he give you anything?
I don't know.
I mean, he maybe gave you a hint.
Yeah.
But you couldn't read.
I don't need no hints. This is gonna be the boss time. Yep. So much like you, like I'm kind of doing playing a game for the full year to see how good I get at it.
Oh yeah.
And I chose UN Squadron, which I think is just an excellent game. And I've been having a great time playing it this week, and I am not able to beat it yet.
You're trying to do it on normal for starters?
Yeah.
But you technically played it in January.
Yes.
So I guess you'll stream your February run, maybe your March, depending on how.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to get to good enough at least where I could beat it during the stream.
Uh-huh.
And you know, like I beat it like so long ago.
Well, you know, I'll try to make it a point for me to beat that game this year as well, because I'm sure watching you stream it will inspire me to get through it as well. Because I have tried, but I am really bad at that game.
Well, but I mean, I was saying, you know, like maybe one night we should just like on a non-normal stream night is like do a kind of just like a practice stream. Yeah, just like play it, you know, and I can kind of
give some tips. Whoa, what is that?
I have no idea.
What are you?
I got these bombs, so that adds like a whole nother, like, I guess I can just use it a whole bunch.
You can only have one weapon at a time, right?
Right. Oh wow, Philadelphia won. Oh, good. Congratulations to Philadelphia.
Who else was playing?
New England Patriots. Who've like won like 1 billion Super Bowls at this point.
So Philadelphia winning would be considered
Yeah, because I think that
the underdog.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that like there's like this whole thing before saying like, oh, I've waited my whole life for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. It's like this old guy.
Really? So it hasn't happened ever, or at least in that guy's lifetime.
I don't know. Oh.
Hey, we got Jimmy Hoppa in the chat.
Oh,
we're playing his game.
Yeah.
He probably didn't even expect it when he clicked on that Daimakaimura.
Yeah, I know, because
these guys with the swinging ball and chain make me think of the guys in Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But Jimmy, how hard do you think that this game is?
Yeah, we were just saying earlier. I thought I had heard that it remembers how many continues you have at your password, but it's looking like there seem to be infinite continues, so that must not be an issue.
Does that make you more apt to play it sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I think so. I'd been nervous about it. Jimmy says very easy.
But easy fun.
I mean, you've been having a little trouble, but it doesn't seem like overly crazy or anything.
I think you just gotta take your time.
Your current weapon doesn't have much range.
Yeah, but eventually it will cycle through and I'll have a more powerful weapon.
Well, hey, we got Happy Console Gamer in here.
Oh wow. Sorry, it's not Ghouls and Ghosts. The SuperGrafx version has limited continues, and it was over pretty quick. I'm pretty good at the Genesis version. I've beaten that on stream before. Definitely in my top probably 3 Genesis games. But it's just
really.
Yeah, I'd say that.
You mean like your top 3 favorite, or the top 3 you're good at?
Favorite for sure.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I should give it another try. Like I tried it out a little bit, but I don't know. I didn't give it much of a chance. Is it directly based on the arcade version, or is it kind of? I think I've asked that before, but
I didn't realize what was going on there. Is it based on the arcade version?
Or is it like have its own thing?
No, it's based on the arcade game. Well, Jimmy, one of the reasons I'm playing this is that it brings the reality of doing that video even closer.
Indeed. Well, we at some point during the stream we were, I mean, maybe we got over 300 viewers, but for Super Bowl Sunday to have gotten this many viewers is not bad.
It might not be like as much of a crowd pleaser. I mean, a lot of people probably think it's going to be Ghouls and Ghosts, but I mean, it's not like as much of a crowd pleaser, I guess, as like Mario 2, like the Japanese Mario 2, or like even like McDonald's.
McDonald's is a crowd pleaser. I almost, that week after the McDonald's stream, I like several times is almost like, maybe I'll try some McDonald's. It's been a while, but I never did. It's still fresh on my mind though. I might, you know, 1993 Sega marketing is finally coming around for them and getting one sale out of me all these years later.
Yeah. You know,
next time I have McDonald's, it will definitely be because you streamed that game. whether it's next week or many months from now, it'll definitely have been inspired by your playthrough of that game.
When I was a kid, we my brother and I would record these audio tapes. You know, we just had bought a bunch of blank tapes and we just like record stuff on them. Just us being stupid. And, you know, like there's one time when my dad was, you know, taking us out to dinner. And he's like, hey, where do you guys want to go for dinner? And like every time we're asked that question is always McDonald's. And my dad always wanted to go to this like fried fish place called Davidson's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the conversation is always the same. Whoa. I get it now. I could have done that earlier. The conversation is always, you know, where do you guys want to go for dinner? McDonald's. Well, how about Davidson's? No. And it was like all on tape, and I wish I could have found it before like my mom sold her house. But I mean,
did you ever go to Davidson's?
Oh, we always went to Davidson's, and it was so good. You know, it's like kind of a diner.
Still wanted to go to McDonald's.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I feel like most kids, you know, like when presented with the option.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you like fish at that age?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty iffy on fish myself.
I am definitely a fan of like, you know, of a good fish fry.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But like, it has to, like, I have to be in the right mood for it. Like, I'm not a fan of fishy tasting fish. It has to have a good tartar sauce with it.
Okay,
like just fish, I can't do.
I'm gonna buy this thing. I don't know what it does. We're gonna find out. Oh wow. There's a lot of different weapons in this. I really need some health though. Please let there be health in here. Now, there's a shield in there. The levels are pretty long.
Jimmy says there's a secret pickup in the lava caves area that upgrades your sword attack permanently. The game is very easy with that. Without it, just kind of easy.
Well, maybe I'll have to look that up. I missed it now. That would solve all my problems. Give me some health. Ah! Dang it. Oh, this is a continue though, it looks like. I don't know what you have to pick up to make that happen. To make it so I can continue from where I died. Okay.
That's an interesting gradient on the dungeon walls. I mean, maybe it's actually not that crazy, but on the stream at least, it looks it looks like it creates the illusion of being smoother than I feel it should be. There's like a lot of different
power-ups?
Types of... Well, there's a lot of different areas, like, in this one level. Like, a lot of different backgrounds. Like, you seem to be warping into all sorts of different places.
Yeah, I mean, there's... Ooh, oh, what's... There's a key, another key. Maybe Jimmy just beat it so much that he like knows how easy it is, or he feels that it's really easy. But I mean, I guess
it doesn't
come
look
on.
crazy.
It does not look crazy now.
Seeing that it has infinite continues though is making me feel a lot better. Jamie says this is probably the most complex level in the game. Certain things here that you can miss. Are they like things that you need to beat the game or beat the level? Like I noticed you're picking up like some gems out of some chests. Like, do you need those? Jimmy thinks you're doing fine.
Okay.
Bud.
I like the scaling though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is this gonna be the boss? This has got to be the boss right here.
I wonder how they did that. If it was just...
Yeah, it's just scaled up. It's like Genesis style scaling.
Yeah, but I mean, is it a separate sprite in the game or what?
Yes, I think that's the case.
Okay, not required things, just items to get more magic spells later, as well as one of the dress items from Zool that you passed on earlier. Dress items, does it change your outfit, or is it just something, armor or something? Whoa, that's a interesting looking guy. So far, it seemed like the bosses don't take like a crazy number of hits.
Doesn't seem to.
I'm not sure how you can read like what boards are going to be electrified. There's only certain colors?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Ugh, see, and then it happened. The level is pretty long, though.
Oh, you can't continue with the boss?
No, I don't think so. It's alright, though. Yep, I'm all the way back here.
Do you think you kind of know how to get back?
Maybe. I think I need to save my money, though, for the dress that he was talking about.
Did you see it?
I feel like I saw it.
What does it do you think?
I don't know. It's like, if
Is
it
it
has a
armor?
name, if it's called the Dress of Zool, I feel like it's got to be... Oh, she gave me a power this time if I say an A.
Choose the right answer for the centaur guy and you get a max heart. I guess that's what you've been doing?
That's what I just
Maybe?
did. Jimmy obviously has the game memorized. Oh, jeez. wish there was a way to walk a little bit faster. Hey, did you see the tweet that the HD Retrovision made today?
I didn't.
About their, you should look it up. Look it up on their Twitter. It's like Dreamcast object. It is a box and has component cables coming out of it. I'm excited to see what they have in store.
If this gets 18 million retweets, Wendy's will add Dreamcast cables to their menu. So it's some sort of Dreamcast box, huh?
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Why is it? I mean, yeah, that's a big box. Dreamcast working with 480p mode and 240p mode for games that are not VGA compatible. Oh, can this downscale things to 240p?
I don't know. Looks pretty good though from the pictures.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, that's the solution I've been waiting for, to be honest. Like, you know, I've kind of been curious in trying some other VGA boxes, but I mean, I've been like, oh, AC Retrovision's thing is probably going to be like definitely the most rigorously designed thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder when that's going to happen. Oh, it's just a breadboard. I see. So they're going to shrink it down into something, in theory.
Yeah. Man, if there's like a power-up that will, in the second level, that makes it so that you have the super sword the whole time. That's...
That was the third level, right? The caves?
Yeah. Oh, come on.
That kind of makes me think of, you know, the second level in Cybernator. I think it was, you could unlock that like nuke thing.
Yeah, like if you don't destroy anything for the first level or something, except for the boss.
Yeah, it's like kind of cheating.
Let's see, 3,000. I don't know. I take it this is not the dress of Zool.
No, those look like a dress.
Well, Jenny, if you see me getting close, let me know. I'm definitely gonna die in this boss right here, though.
He switched to Valkyrie because Ghouls and Ghosts was going to be more trouble than he thought, and
The 3 continues in Ghouls and Ghosts made it kind of unappealing for a stream.
Yeah, and we were having SuperGrafx capture issues. It was dropping sporadically. The dress is in the prison area shop.
All
In the
right.
arcade game, you lose after taking a single hit. I think it sticks in this version, but I can't be completely sure.
What does it do?
Is it? Well, it doesn't sound like it's armor if it goes away in one hit. But you didn't even go to the prison area.
I don't think so. I think I missed it this time. I don't even stand a chance against this guy, though. Unless it lets me... No, I do have a continue.
Supposedly lets you recover HP and MP gradually. Corey doesn't know how the magic works, right? You still haven't figured it out, right?
Right.
Like you don't know what the blue orbs do.
No. I have enough health here. I might be able to just like tank my way through the boss here.
Jimmy says in the arcade game, you hold down the attack button and choose your spell.
Oh. I mean, I have a pause screen, but I can't do anything here. I'm just not powerful enough to... Oh. Kill him. I mean, I'm just gonna die before I do enough.
I wonder if, like, not picking up some of these upgrades is really going to screw you over, like, late in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's game over anyways. Try pressing down the 2 button for 2 seconds or more. Alright, I'll give that a chance.
That's a long... I mean, I guess it's like charging
okay.
a spell.
Alright, so if I hold it down... Oh, look at that! Okay.
Miss the big spell? Does that make you a giant pixelated Valkyrie? Because I really hope so.
I'm gonna kill myself because I don't want to waste it.
It's horrible. Like her various like hurting animations are very cartoonish.
Oh, did Gamestack stream earlier? Electron Ash?
He wasn't after last week's stream. He was
Yeah, he's in an editing stream last.
editing stream.
I get it. So I can leave the rapid fire on until I need it. See, I think that's me getting to continue. Is that there's like a noise? It makes the game makes a noise
Ah.
right there. I'll always choose the A. Oh, it didn't work that time. I assumed that maybe it was random. Maybe it is. I can go this way.
So has Corey not gotten any permanent upgrades?
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Oh, the Centaur has like 3 different questions he can ask.
Okay, so it's not always the same answer.
That guy in blue makes me think of like a Dragon Quest NPC.
I could see this being like a marathon stream or game, you know, where you like probably can't beat it in 2 hours. But if you had 24 hours, you could probably beat it.
Yeah. Is this the first time in a while that you streamed on the PVM? Or did you play McDonald's on it?
I played McDonald's on it, yeah. I've been playing, whatchamacallit on it too.
UN Squadron?
Yeah.
You said that they just, that you discovered that there's now a MSU1.
Yeah, I downloaded a new, like the newest like Smoke Monster stuff, and they had a whole bunch of stuff on there. So many MSU1 stuff that they will not all fit on my 64 gig card.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So how is the UN Squadron MSU1?
I'm not like super impressed with it. It's kind of like one of them is like, well, one of them is the arcade music, which is kind of neat. And the other one is, what's that?
I forgot it had an arcade version.
Yeah. And the other one is kind of like, it's kind of like piano. Like it doesn't really fit the game.
Weird. I wonder though if it helps with the. So when I was testing out games, at first I thought that I was like, oh my gosh, there's like this sound glitch on like every single enemy explosion in the game, and then I double checked it on original hardware, and oh yeah, it's there too.
Yeah.
Like it's a very weirdly loud game. Like all of the audio just seems like at a higher level. Yeah, it's funny because I did find some sound glitches on the Super NT that kept just fixed like really quickly, and then I like went and checked a few other things. I'm like, oh no, there's still sound glitches, but all of those glitches happen on original hardware. I mean, I don't necessarily mean glitches really, but it's just like it's like sort of like a clipping or popping type sound, but it happens on original hardware too. So I mean, you know, I mean that's the intent of the Super NT is to behave like original hardware. So
yep.
You know, that's a problem with the game programming, not the system.
Oh, look at this. I missed this before. In the prison. Oh, she gave me a sword power-up.
No?
It didn't do anything, though, I didn't see.
You need to figure out the way to that bigger prison where you supposedly can get that dress.
Yeah. I wish there was someplace I could refill my health, like right here. But I'm gonna try. I'll use my spell.
You've probably got to continue.
No, I used it. I got. Oops, I just wasted it. There's got to be a specific pattern that I'm missing. I mean, it's very difficult to tell. Where it's going to attack.
You're definitely going to have to take a picture of a password, unless you want. And because it'll be hard to write down, but unless you want to start over instead of continuing this game, like to maybe get that upgrade in the cave level.
I'm not gonna right now. I mean, maybe if I.
Oh, I mean, I don't mean like right now restart, but I mean like, you know, if you were to continue this like during the week, like if you were.
Yeah. I will
continue this playthrough, or if you would want to restart and maybe find that upgrade in the cave.
Man, okay, let's go. It's still 10 of 11. 10 till 11.
Gonna give it another go?
Oh yeah. Of course. I mean, we got time.
I wonder if you can find that prism again.
The prism.
Prison. That's where that dress was, right?
Yeah, I thought I saw where it was, but maybe not. Let's just see what happens. Centaur looks like more like a dog.
Yeah, it's that is not at all what I thought it was supposed to be. Let me look up look up. There we go. Oh yeah, that's right. This was for a different version. I was gonna look up Legend of the Valkyrie, but wait, there's a Famicom game in this series?
Oh, is there?
Valkyrie no Boken, Toki no Kagi Densetsu.
I think that's the one. Is that the one that Jimmy, he did a video on that one, on the arcade version, but I think he may have, he did one on the NES one as well.
No text throughout the game. So wait, the version that Jimmy did a video on. Okay, I know I've watched one of your Valkyrie videos. I didn't realize there was two. Is the Famicom game good? I'm gonna look it up. Oh hey.
What?
If I search for Famicom Valkyrie, there happens to be a video from Mr. Jimmy Hapa. Is the first hit. Let's see what this game looks like. It's got a cool box.
Oh, we got a $1 donation from Retro Morgan 89. He's a huge fan of your channel. What do you guys think of X-Men for the Genesis? I mean, it's okay. It's I never really cared for the soundtrack in it.
I forget if I tried that or not. I know I've tried at least one or two Marvel games for the Genesis, but I just can't remember which ones they were.
I recently passed up an opportunity to buy it and the sequel.
This Valkyrie game on the Famicom looks well, it looks earlier Famicom style. Looks kind of weird, like the menu is weird. Attacking a boat. This is an interesting looking game. Very different style from this.
Yeah. My gosh. I'm just like, I'm not good at this. This game is not on the Sega Master System. It's on the PC Engine.
The only home version, I think, aside from PlayStation. If I'm not mistaken, PlayStation has a port of the arcade version, and it has an original game as well, right? Is that right?
The what?
Or am I making that up? That PlayStation has a port of the arcade version as well as an original game. Is that right? Or am I making that up?
I think it just has the arcade game.
Okay, for some reason I thought there was an
It's on
original
the
game on
the
PlayStation
Namco
as
Museum.
well.
All right, here we go again.
Jimmy says it's like a cross between the arcade and Genesis games. Or Famicom games. People were talking about Genesis in the chat.
My problem is that I need it like one power up for my weapon.
Yeah, yeah, because that short little range shooter does not help much. I can see that.
I'm very bad at predicting what it's gonna do.
Yeah, it's like, it looks like it should be easy to read which set of squares is going to not be safe, but it's I can see why it would also be kind of difficult. Because the way it flashes yellow, it's like, oh wait, okay, which one was yellow again?
Right. Maybe there's another. I'm gonna really explore. See if I can find.
You need to get. I think you need to get back to that one place that was like a larger prison.
I don't remember how I got there though.
Because I think that's the place that has the dress that Jimmy's talking about.
Well, I don't even know if I would have enough money to buy it. But I do recall like 2 stores that I saw. See, I thought it would be there, but it's not.
Uh-oh, we've got the game chasers in the chat.
I don't think anybody wants us to take our shirt off.
Our shirt, our collective shirt.
Yeah.
Jimmy thinks you should start from the beginning. Obviously,
Really?
a little late for tonight.
Yeah.
He says, it may be too late for this, but I think you should start from the beginning and pick up your magics and eternal sword.
Does he have a link to a good, good information for that for me to read about?
In English.
Yeah. There I go. I'm just exploring at this point. I'll take his advice and maybe come into this a little bit more prepared.
I think the big donation might be about to wear off on the super chat. I can't quite see the meter on it at this point.
Yep. Alex Electric, I played it earlier and it didn't go so well because the SuperGrafx version has limited continues, and
the SuperGrafx was causing capture sync issues for some reason anyway.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe the fixed Super CD System 3 will actually remedy that issue.
Maybe. You can use it in SuperGrafx as well?
What's that?
You can use it in SuperGrafx as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. It fits on everything. That's where it's gonna live once I have it.
Do you know how soon that's going to start shipping?
They were saying like 2 weeks.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, well, it's on my mind. Hang on a second.
Oh, here's the prison area. There's. Oh, I'm short for the dress. I don't need too much more. I found the I found the prison area.
Oh, cool. Is the dress there in the shop?
Yeah, but I didn't have it quite enough for it. But I think if I was very close.
We did receive the GC HD thing that I don't know if people were, everyone in the chat was aware of this, but this company called Eon, E-O-N. I say company. My feeling is that they were formed just to make this, but this is like a plug-and-play GameCube HDMI that pretty much literally came out of nowhere. You can buy it on Amazon. It's $150, which, you know, I think people would find disappointing because you know, part of the reason that people want a GameCube solution is for it to be cheaper than the component cables, and that it is cheaper, yes, but not cheaper enough. But I think it might still do well. You know, I was talking to Nick from HD Retrovision about it, which is kind of where we found out about when they tweeted. We were like, what? And, you know, as a guy who has gone through a process of manufacturing retro video game stuff, he seemed to understand the investment and work that went into, making a product like this. I mean, this isn't 3D printed or anything like that, but it's got like this extra thing that goes into the analog port but doesn't have any connectors. It's just there for stability. But yeah, I mean, I tested it out. It seems to work well. It worked well with the Game Boy interface, but some people were saying that the issues that some other HDMI, I think some people were having solutions with some HDMI options for GameCube. We're having trouble with GBI, but I think it was with newer GBI versions, and my GBI is a little out of date, so I didn't have any issues. But I think it was fixed either with I forget what I forget whether I was told. Someone from our Patreon chat told me that it was either an update to the GC video firmware that fixed it or an update to GBI. I forget. Is it better than component though? That's a good question. I haven't really done.
That's a $150 question, really.
I haven't done a direct comparison with this. I mean, this is, in theory, quality should be identical. Although I have heard that there can be some color accuracy differences. Something I didn't realize is that people are making like their own custom firmwares, and
we got a like donation for Blade Blur. It's there's a lot of text there. I don't wait for it to come up. Sorry.
Oh, speaking of donations, ain't no way I'm slipping away from the scrolling, son. Thank you for keeping my insanity intact while editing a 35-minute long video. Also, shout out to Jimmy Hoppa. He makes good videos too. Whew, 35-minute long video. I'm only editing a 25-minute video, so you got me beat there. But yeah, people, I guess, have been making their own custom variations of the Unseen firmware for GC Video. So, I don't know exactly what all is different. But it looked pretty similar to what I remembered from the HDMI modded systems that I tested back when we did the GameCube episode. So anyway, I mean, it looked really good, but I've really come to like the look of the 2X the 2x scale for the OSSC for 480p on the OSSC, the 960p. I really like how that looks. And, you know, obviously you can't take this into the OSSC. So that would be an interesting comparison to make. But you know, I really liked what I tried out of this. Like, it kind of got me in, like, I kind of want to get, like, I've wanted an excuse to get an Indigo GameCube for a long time, because I've, you know, from launch day, I've had a black GameCube.
And you really want to get a purple one. That's what I used to have too. I mean, I would love to have a purple one as well. But
I really want it just because it's iconic, and I you know, just I always feel like when I shoot the GameCube, like shoot video of it, it just doesn't look that interesting. But like the purple one just looks more interesting.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get one. The problem is, like, I've kind of been looking for one for a while, but like it feels like it's so rare to find one that looks good. Like they've all got like, they're all like kind of turning colors, or they have like, you know, or at least the front panel is turning colors. Sometimes the purple itself is changing colors. So it's hard to find a really nice looking one. But it's all like, I've seen like maybe one nice looking one at a store once. But it was still just like, I don't need to buy that. I want it, but I don't need to. But now that I've got this, like, I feel like this is like the excuse. Because now, like, I want to like have like a GameCube with this hooked up to it, and of course my usual component cables. So I have the option, you know. I mean, yeah. You know, this is how we justify things. It's like, oh, well, we make a show about this kind of stuff, so
we can talk ourselves into it.
So we can talk ourselves into it, because it's like, oh, it's convenient to be able to show HDMI GameCube or component GameCube anytime I need to. It's convenient to have that option. So yeah, I'd like to do that, just to have this plugged into a separate GameCube all the time.
Yeah, I have one that has like the internal mod, but I have a lot of issues with it. It's just not compatible with a lot of my displays.
Right, like it doesn't pass through your receiver either.
Well, my switcher, so yeah, it's pretty obnoxious.
I wonder if it could be fixed with firmware.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's all it took, because I mean the hardware shouldn't. I mean, not that I know a ton about how it works, but it feels like firmware could solve your issues.
Yeah, it's possible.
This GameCube HDMI device is called it's just called GC HD, and you can actually buy it on Amazon. It's sort of crazy. But yeah, it beat the Badass Consoles version to market, but you know, he's also offering analog options, I think. Is that right? Is he still doing that?
And one that has both built in as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder how much that's going to cost though to have both in one unit. Like when I saw this was $150, I was like, oh, I bet it includes both, but it doesn't.
Well, he seemed to say that it was it's going to be cheaper. He thinks it's going to be cheaper.
Electron Ash says, I think it should be fixable in firmware. The GC should be outputting fairly accurate 2-spec video timings. So I'm not sure why the internal one doesn't work too well.
Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that either.
You should look into that.
Yeah.
Because it would be great if you had that working correctly.
Yeah, I know, but like my
both
switchers
of us would have an HDMI GameCube solution.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm in good shape this time. I might be able to beat the boss. Not that it really matters, but I'd like to beat this level at least.
Yeah, see, Smoke Monster, I kind of want to get a PAL GameCube as well. Like, I'm kind of torn. Like, part of me just says get another American GameCube because it'd just be easier to deal with. But I'd also kind of wouldn't mind having a PAL one just to have RGB available.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's so funny. Like, I've got so many redundant systems.
Yeah, at this point, so do I. You know.
Like, years ago, I would have never thought I would have, like, all these duplicate systems. Like, the only reason I had 2 NESs was because my, you know, I end up with my cousins. And I just thought, oh, you know, it's good to have an extra NES. Why not?
Yeah.
But, like, because of the show, we've just ended up with all these redundant systems. It's so stupid. Like, but GameCube, I've only got 1 GameCube.
I have 3 games.
What?
Well, because
really?
I only got one of them because it was $10.
Wait, what GameCube was $1?
It was $10. I have two black ones
How
and
was it
the green one
$10?
that I just like at the place down the road.
Wow. Well,
And that one has a that one has a Xeno chip in it, which is the mod chip to play like Burns and stuff.
Oh, you've got that?
Yeah, it's like
it's installed.
Yeah, it's not like a tough. It's like that's also in my HDMI one as well.
Oh, okay.
So you could theoretically just burn like GBI to a disc and boot from that. If you want. All right, here we go. I'm gonna beat the boss this time.
All right, let's see it.
I gotta continue, and I got a powered
But wait,
up
so
sword.
what colors are your other GameCubes?
I have 2 black ones and the
green one.
Yeah.
See, I've got 2 NES front loaders. One is high def modded. I've got 1 NES top loader, 1 AV Famicom. I've got 1 regular Famicom, which I don't even know for sure if it works.
That was easy that time.
Wow. Just that 1 sword upgrade, huh?
Yeah.
And I've got a 1994 Super Nintendo, a 1-chip Super Nintendo, a modded Mini. I've got another Super Nintendo that, like, it was $8 and I just like leave it opened up. Like, the case was kind of in rough shape, so I just leave it opened up, like for shooting shots inside the board, which there's plenty of in the Super NT episode. And I've got 2 N64s. One is RGB and HDMI modded. But only 1 GameCube. You just gave me a second Wii that you had gotten your hands on.
Right, just like a black one.
And I'll probably get my hands on like at least 2 more, I would imagine, before doing a Wii episode. Or I could just borrow them, one way or the other. Of course, only 1 Wii U and 1 Switch. But like PlayStation, I've got you know my original PlayStation. I've got a RCA jack PlayStation. I've got a Japanese PlayStation that doesn't work very well, and I've got a Japanese PS1. You know, the little one. And PlayStation 2, I don't even want to talk about. I've got a stupid number of PS2s. I've got my original PS2. I've got, was it 91?
The problem is you just never know when you're going to need them.
Yeah, I've got the last Slim. I've got 2 of the first Slim. Let's not talk about why. I recently got a 39,001 because I saw it and it was in incredibly good shape, and I was just like, oh, I want it just because, I guess. So how is that? I think I've got like 5 PS2s, and it's like I like the PS2, but it is like pretty far down my favorite systems list. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a good appreciation for it, but I feel like that's one of my least favorite generations in general. Like, I mean, I really like it. Don't get me wrong. Like when I say it's one of my least favorites, I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like it, but you know, I feel like I have stronger feelings for other generations. But you know, I have even
just
more
like
appreciation.
return me to the beginning of the level.
Oh no, this is like a maze, isn't it?
It may have. No, it didn't. This is all new right here. Maybe it's a shortcut.
But you know, I've got a newfound.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Appreciation for the PS2. I mean, I go through phases with PS2, I guess, is the way to put it. I definitely do like the PS2, but it is a weird system for me to own 5 of. It's probably the most I own of anything.
I mean, I think there's probably at some point where you'll be like, oh, maybe I'll just like sell these or trade these or something.
Probably not. Well, I thought I might give you one of the 77,000s.
Oh yeah, the slims, yeah.
But one of them doesn't have as good of a disk drive in it. But you should probably take that one.
I mean, I have a 9,000.
Right, but I mean, this is like the good one that's got like the proper.
Right.
It's like, I mean, Voltar says it's like the exact same chips as the 55,000, but it's on a smaller motherboard. It runs really hot though.
I feel like I probably have a lot of money now. I do. I got 4,000. That did send me back to the beginning of the level, by the way.
Oh.
It's one of those kind of games. Oh, I got the drill again.
The interesting thing though is that the what is it, 90,000 Slim is the shell is a little bit different. The casing is a little different.
Yeah,
like
and you didn't realize it was until you did the episode, right?
Yeah, it's got like there's like a missing section of like the ridge that runs around the middle of the system. Is like the middle part of that is gone on the. There's a few other minor visual differences, you know, in addition to the fact that that it's also got like a shiny, a glossy left side, kind of like the original PS4.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to do C this time.
But what if he asks it? What if he's
oh my
asking a
gosh.
different question?
I don't know. It sent me back to the beginning again.
Ugh. Did you take a picture of your password?
No, I can just look it up on the stream though afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start over probably anyways.
Yeah. I mean, despite some complications, you know, it looks like a pretty manageable game. I'd like to play it on the backlog restream.
Yeah.
In the coming months.
Jimmy, is that guy ask me different questions every time? Is there like a safe answer to like not get sent back to the beginning of the level? He just like starts it over. Well, there's another hut in here that I missed. A lot of money in this level now, at least.
It feels like if you figured out what you were doing in this level, you could get through it quickly, though.
Yeah, I think I already started figuring figure it out though. I mean, I don't know. Is this like the 5th level? So I must be kind of close. Decently close.
Yeah. But I bet most of your time is going to be spent on the last few levels.
Yeah. You think SNES prices will continue to rise, or have they peaked? I want to sell my collection, but I'm considering waiting 5 years.
I kind of doubt they've peaked.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell it right now.
I mean, honestly, I'm always surprised when game prices go down. I think, weren't we talking recently about how, like, when I got Dark Cloud 2, I mean, that game was like $40 to $50 for a long time, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like 20 or less.
Right.
Well, I feel like that doesn't happen often.
Not lately.
I mean, it's possible, you know, like, I feel like the Super NT is going to do pretty well.
Yeah, it's going to be super. I think it's going to be really cool.
I think they're going to continue to manufacture it because, you know, they have obviously designed it, I think, with, like, continued production in mind. You know, because it's just so much more practical than the NT Mini.
Right.
So, oh, you got an orb that time.
Yeah, I did it.
So, you know, I feel like, you know, that introduces like a serious new aspect to the SNES hardware market. So, I mean, it's possible that it could have an impact.
This game has a fantastic soundtrack in it.
How many different have you? Oh, hey, we got $2 from Darsiska. Thanks for all the amazing videos. Thank you. Is this a boss?
It looks like it, yeah. Uh-oh, it can only be damaged.
Oh, it's dropping magic orbs? Do you need to use magic?
That's what I thought, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Jump on the ice platform. I guess you gotta be higher up.
Oh, okay. I have to continue, so that's good. Oh, I see.
I bet you could just like stand there and just like bash him to death before he kills you.
Yeah, probably. That's cool. I don't know.
Jimmy says this boss is easy with the big magic.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh no!
You slip off. The jumping is pretty imprecise in this game.
Yeah, there's a particular feel to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna select no. Oh, there's my password right there. Something something CD, something A, something 0, something.
I've seen a teardown of a Super NT. Not that I can tell you much about the components of it.
Yeah, you open it up. I think somebody like PC Mag released their review by accident early and then had to like pull it down like once it went live. I don't know if it was a video though or if it was
I heard someone did an
unboxing
review that was taken down.
A what?
An unboxing?
Yeah. I mean, like, probably one of my favorite things about it is like how the bottom of it is just like a rubber pad.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I really like the clear underside on the NT Mini. That's my favorite part about the NT Mini design, but it is cool. It's like, you know, you don't have like the 4 rubber feet. You've just got a solid slab of rubber
Yeah.
underneath. It is pretty cool. There's a shot of that in the video.
Yeah. And a really cool shot of you using the Super Scope 6 or not using
Yes. Yeah, which that was the whole reason that I've let my scruff grow out this long, right? Is so I could do this.
So you can show that the Super Scope 6 not working.
Well, I use it in the part where we talk about the analog adapter that they announced.
Yeah.
Because the Super Scope would work on that.
Right.
That's in fact what Kevtris like told us. Like he was like musing about it. Like he was like, I thought about making like an analog adapter, and a Super Scope would work on that. But I don't know if he was just letting on too much at that time or what. But
we just didn't even process it at the time.
No.
Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, and then we were told about it, and then like a couple days later, it was announced on Twitter, which is a pretty cool thing, actually. But yeah, so I actually took the soundbite, even though we didn't know what he was talking about at the time, and I thought he was just musing. He was just like, "Oh yeah, the Super Scope would work on an analog adapter." So he says, "Oh, he says the Super Scope would work on that," and so that's when I have this shot of me with the Super Scope looking very grizzled.
Yeah. Any other questions as we wrap up for this week?
Whew.
The episode will be out 99.99% Wednesday morning. No pressure.
At 11 Eastern.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel confident. I mean, I feel like I should be able to get most of the rest done tomorrow, and I'll have even more time on Tuesday in theory. So,
yeah, I mean, it's if you're pretty close, I think it's gonna come together, and it's gonna be cool. I mean, it's gonna be crazy out there. What is Nick from HG Retrovision said he's gonna do his top 10 favorite Super NT videos. He's gonna list his top 10 favorite ones. So, I mean, look for that.
Hope we make the list.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, I think it's gonna be cool because we offer something a little different.
Yeah.
But is that gonna do it?
I guess so.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and congratulations if you live in Philadelphia. I don't know why you, if you live in Philly, if you'd be here watching this stream right now. But everyone, have a good night. See you next week.
Good night.